Hello folks, Rob, Maximum RD here, and I am responding to an open tag by Waspsprays, and I typically don't respond to open tags, but I'm responding to this one for one reason, one word: Colecovision. Okay, I've tried to hold back and not respond. Couldn't do it, obviously. So let me respond. I'll jump right into the questions, then I'll show you a little bit of extra stuff at the end there. Let's see what the time is. Okay. What made you get a Colecovision? Well, I got my Colecovision a couple years back, and basically that was the system that I thought, hey, you know, I think I want to get into this classic gaming and retro console collecting and get back into the old stuff and, you know, pick up some of the things I've had and some of the things that I never experienced before, now that I could do that. And the first thing that came to mind is my memories when I was a kid. My best Christmas that I ever had was opening up a brand new Colecovision system. I had a brand new Colecovision system, included, well, of course, Donkey Kong was packed in. I think I also had games like Popeye, Mr. Do, I think Venture, and a few other games, and I was blown away. I was just amazed because everything was like brand new, some of the hottest games from a system that at that time just seemed incredible. So that's always been my best classic gaming memory. So that was the first thing I decided to get. And so, you know, I was on eBay, and some of you might remember my very first video ever here on YouTube was for this, the Super Action controllers for the Colecovision. My very first video, and I was so excited, you could tell if you go back and look at my first video. And next thing I know, I was getting subscriber after subscriber, and so I saw that there was other people who were into the same sort of thing, and I guess, as they say, the rest is history. I love the Super Action controllers because, unlike the original controllers, you know, you have this, like on the joystick here, you have this flat, round knob, which is fine, but after extended playtime, it starts to get a little bit uncomfortable. Not the most practical. So, I didn't have the Super Action controllers back in the day, which is why actually this was the first thing I ordered, a good deal off eBay. And sure enough, I really liked the arcade joystick type knob on the top there, and the control was great, big controllers, which was great for me. And so I find it very comfortable and a lot more fun to use than the standard controller. So that's what got me back into Colecovision. That's what made me pick one up, was the memories I had of it from when I was a kid. The next question: top 3 games and why? Okay, I'll say number 3 is a game actually called the HEIST. Not one of the most well-known games, but it was different. It was a really cool game where you're a burglar, you're trying to rip off an art museum, and you run around the screen, kind of a platform game. Think along the lines of like Keystone Capers, but instead of, it wasn't bright, colorful graphics, it was more dark graphics, black background. No, it was like a lot of Coleco games. And you're the burglar, and you're running around back and forth, different screens, and there's all kinds of traps and doors and moving platforms, etc., all trying to defeat you and keep you from stealing these items. And it was just fun. It was not like any game I had seen anywhere else, and it had a really catchy tune to it. If you've ever heard it, it's I don't know the name of the song, but it's like do 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 do. You know, it goes like that. It's just really really fun to listen to, and real happy song. So it always stuck in my head. So whenever I see a screenshot of that game, the music pops right into my head. So that's why I have great memories of that one. Secondly, I would say Popeye, great platform arcade game. Rescue Olive Oil from the evil Brutus, or what was it, Bluto, or whatever his name was, dropping hearts down. You had to catch them, eat your spinach, punch the crap out of your enemy. Great arcade game, ported to a few different systems. I played a ton of it on the Colecovision. Love that game. Number one, as I think Mr. Intellivision also gave the same answer, number one, Mr. Do. No question, hands down. Some people were Dig Dug type guys. I was a Mr. Do guy. I love the colorful graphics, just the novelty of it. One of those games that you're thinking, what the hell were the programmers on when they made this game? Because you're like a little clown in an orchard shooting around a crystal ball, and these monsters come and you have to drop apples on their heads. It's just so wacky, you know. It works, it's fun, and it's one of the few games that I can recall to this day that my mother actually got into to the extent where she would beat my score. And when she'd get a higher score on it, of course, I was compelled to beat that, and went back and forth got to the point where we were literally rolling the score on the game several times over. So that was the only time that ever happened, the only game. So I think that's why it's a big part of my memory. It triggers a lot of good memories and good times. So Mr. Do, number one favorite. And you know, there were so many other great games: Burger Time, Venture, Cosmic Avenger, all kinds of great games. Mousetrap, Ladybug, just tons of great games. And what was really cool, and Frenzy, which was like the sequel to Berserk, but as far as I recall, not on many other platforms, if any other platforms. And that was the thing about the ColecoVision, is it tended to get arcade ports and more of the underdog arcade games that you didn't see everywhere else, because a lot of the bigger companies were snapping up all the big licenses. They were grabbing a lot of the little guys, like I think companies like Exidy and stuff like that. They were getting licensed for their games, which was great because you didn't see them anywhere else. So had a lot of great, I think another person mentioned it, it was really not so much the gaming system, but the home arcade system. Much better describes what the ColecoVision was. So that was cool. Star Wars Arcade, of course, that was awesome. So, and the answer to the bonus question, which game do you wish you had that you don't have? I can't really pick one. I have the original USB cartridge, as you probably recall, the 128N1. So literally I can play any of the original, or most of the original ColecoVision games, just by using that baby right there. So I can't really say, I can't think of a cart I don't have that I would want. And on that same note, the Ultimate SD prototype, yeah, I'm working on it. I got all the video footage shot. I hope to send this back to Steve Tucker at Atari Max tomorrow, probably. Darn. And yeah, and I'll be working on that. I've got everything shot, just got to put it together and upload it. But anyways, so yeah, just in ending the discussion, well, actually, no, not ending the discussion. What I loved a lot was a fellow YouTuber very generously, if you, again, check some of my videos back there, donated me this expansion module for the Atari 2600 games. That was amazing. You can tell by my reaction in the video. I was not expecting that. And then he sent me 2 of these Atom controllers, which I always just like the fact that they were a different color. So I actually tend to use these in my ColecoVision. And lastly, as I've covered before, the Joy Sensor by Suncom. This one's a little dusty, but it's got the sensor type pad, just like the Turbo Touch on the, I believe on the Genesis and the Nintendo. So that's really cool controller. And that's it really. I think it's the one classic system that I have the most accessories for and the most of a well, not complete collection, obviously, all the games, but as far as the accessories, I still want to get the steering wheel and the roller controller, but I definitely plan on getting a hold of them at some point. So yeah, that's it. ColecoVision. I always remember the commercials at the end would say ColecoVision, because your vision is our vision. ColecoVision. That's like, how old is that now? But it always stuck in my head. So that's it. ColecoVision all the way. That's the answer. There's my tag, and there's the great system itself. I have 2 actually. One has good RF output, the other, not so great RF output. But I'll see what I can do about that at some point. Okay, so there's my response to the open tag for wasp spray. Thanks, over and out.